Let's get on with the auction today.
235, 240.
Every year, tens of thousands of properties are sold at auction.
Meredith's bidder, well done.
From modest 2-up, 2-downs to waterfront mansions.
We just spent over £500,000. We weren't really thinking that we were going to do that.
More and more first-time buyers are seeing it as their golden ticket onto the property ladder. But these quick buys are often far from perfect, hiding some nasty surprises.
You haven't been in? No, not yet.
Hey, let's go in. I'm Sarah Beeny, and I've been buying, building and transforming homes for 35 years. And I'm fascinated by the world of auctions. In this series, I'll be offering a dose of realism.
You've got all these lovely flamey ideas and I'm pouring water on like that.
As brave new owners take their homes from derelict to diamond.
I will be moving in at the end of this month. What I'll be moving into, of course, remains to be seen.
And we'll go behind the scenes of some of the country's biggest auction houses.
Something is there that has attracted so many people.
Discovering whether property auctions are a risk too far.
You coming up?
No.
Or a great way to get the home of your dreams.
I am really proud of myself. This is my first home.
This week, a derelict Victorian house by the sea.
If you're a dreamer, you can see past all the money you've got to spend.
And a Somerset townhouse full of character.
How did this come about?
So I've worked 6 days a week all my adult life.
I'm meeting the buyers taking huge risks.
Come on, then.
To make their auction dreams come true.
Oh, it's so light up here. I mean, it helps not having a roof.
And stepping into an auction room where there's an unusual plot twist.
In 29 years, this is an absolute first for me. Your property, sir, well done.
I'm headed to Herne Bay, a seaside town on the North Kent coast, where house prices are rising and semi-detached homes now average just over £335,000. A short walk from the town centre is a Victorian end of terrace left derelict for years. 46-year-old museum archivist Lizak bought his last house at auction and feels they can be a great way of picking up interesting properties that get overlooked elsewhere. So he jumped when a new listing caught his eye.
I was just window shopping, checked a few auction houses, and then I saw this property. And I was kind of dumbstruck. The lights pouring in, the ceilings are tall, everything is original. I'm in love. If you're a dreamer, you can see past all the money you've got to spend to make it look the way you want it to look. Just wanting to be custodian for this house and set her up to be ready to stand for another 125 years. So I went to auction. The listing price for this property was £265,000. The auction started and not a soul bid. So this house was meant to be mine. Once the gavel went down, I was in for 265K plus fees, which brought the figure to around 270. My current budget is £25,000. With that money, I have to make the place habitable. I need to install a kitchen and a bathroom as a priority. You know, they talk about forever homes, and this feels like it for me.
Lizak's house sits on the end of a classic terrace, built around 1900. Back then, houses were typically built on shallow foundations that could leave them vulnerable to subsidence and cracking. Yet Victorian builders knew how to distribute the weight across the build and used lime mortar to let the building flex without serious cracking. So, like many similar houses, the structure is sound and Lizak can focus on giving it a facelift for the 21st century. Lizak sees his forever home in this run-down end of terrace, and I'm eager to hear how he's working through the chaos and into his vision.
So tell me, this is not how you bought it. This is worse, isn't it?
It is much worse.
So there was a wall here that you've taken down.
Yeah,
And you put the steel in here.
Steel in because I've taken out the wall here. By folding doors.
Are they taking this steel up? There's no reason for it to be
so
that low.
No, we need to go back to the engineer. No, that will be a conversation that I have.
And did you have a survey?
After I bought it, to secure the mortgage, I needed a survey.
Lenders generally won't offer a mortgage unless a survey confirms it has a working kitchen and bathroom.
What's the overall plan?
I just want it to be traditional with a slightly modern twist. My original vision was to be able to walk in the front door and literally see to the back.
Well, you've done that.
I've achieved that, right?
Yeah.
The dining room and kitchen are going to be one. Kitchen across here. In this corner will be my dining table.
Why are you having your kitchen here and your dining room there? Why not have your kitchen there and your dining room here?
With his newly opened up space at the back of his home, Lizak can create the open-plan kitchen of his dreams. His idea for the kitchen living space is a run of floor-to-ceiling cabinets taking up almost the entire length of one wall, and a seating area for wining and dining. I'm not sure his layout makes the best use of the light. I'm wondering if he should have his kitchen at the darker end of the dining area, and then the dining and a sofa area would benefit from being right by the garden doors.
And when the doors are open, you're sitting just inside the garden.
Wise counsel, Sarah.
Are you doing a lot of work yourself on this?
As much as I can. And all of the hard labour, all of the professional jobs, I'm going to have to hire people for.
What's your budget for doing all of it?
For the first phase, £25,000.
I mean, you're not going to do it for that, I'm going to be really honest.
So I'm going to have to put some more money in, for sure. But I would like to be in around 4 months' time.
So this will be a dining room, kitchen here,
Yes.
bathroom plans upstairs.
Yes, come and have a look.
Great, thanks.
It's a good idea to check whether the local council offer renovation loans. Kent County Council lent Lizak a lump sum to breathe new life into a property that had been empty for over a year. After the gavel falls, you usually have 28 days to complete the purchase, so you do need to make sure that you have got your money ready. And finally, make sure that you really understand all the costs. There's interest, legal fees, and auction house charges, and they all need to be included in your budget. I'm impressed by Lizak and hope he can turn this house into his forever home. As well as being completely rewired and replumbed, upstairs, Lizak has bold ideas for his bathroom.
So this is, well, was
Okay.
one of the 2 bathrooms?
Yes,
And you have demolished the wall.
but this here is clearly just a dividing wall. Up to this line here is going to be ensuite for this second room.
Lizak wants to move the study wall, creating a bigger bathroom with space for a shower, a freestanding bath, and an ensuite for a guest bedroom with a sliding door to safe room. Exactly the kind of clever use of space that will turn this Victorian house into a modern, practical home.
So the key to making any bathroom work is to have cubby holes to put all the stuff that you need. When you fill in that doorway, instead of having one bit of plasterboard that goes over it, it's a bit more work, but it's really worth it to make sure that will have lots of cupboards. It's all about storage, a nice bathroom.
Very good thinking.
Thank you so much. So what's the vision for this?
So I'm thinking turquoise and copper in the ensuite.
Bathrooms are quite good places to be quite bold. And the only thing I'd say is, if you're going to be bold, you've got to commit to it. Don't forget the 5th wall, the ceiling. You don't have to have a white ceiling.
No.
A black ceiling would be quite cool.
Wow. Food for thought.
Lizak's enthusiasm is brilliant. A 25 grand budget to make this habitable in 4 months isn't. So he'll need to spend every penny wisely.
I think Isaac had this dream that he'd find this tumble-down house and make it into a home, and it would be a bit of a bargain. But the reality is he's got to buy a kitchen, fit it, 2 bathrooms, fit them. £25,000 is a laughable budget for this. And he will discover that.
Sarah gave me lots of good advice, actually. Some which was just very easy to process and totally agreed. The money element is a bit nerve-wracking. I'm going to go away and cogitate, as my mother would say.
Coming up, a first-time renovator who's taken on more than she bargained for.
So you wanted a project. Did you know everything that was wrong with it?
When I started the demolition, I actually realised that it was worse.
230, 235, 240.
Buying a property at auction can be a shortcut to your dream home, or a fast track to a nightmare. I'm meeting people whose journey to finding out which one they've bought into is anything but easy.
I see you snapped it.
In Herne Bay, Kent, the first fix is starting at Lizak's house. Electrician Paul and his apprentice Elliot are starting on the wiring, but to save money on storage, Lizak's kept all his belongings in the house, making progress tricky.
The electrician had requested that all of the rooms were empty, and unfortunately, I have got lots of stuff. What are we hoping to get done today, Paul?
Get this one done, even if it's just chasing and get cables in, and then move everything in here, and then we can work that way. Having to move stuff, just so time-consuming. We can't work like that. It'll cost him more money.
The lack of planning is stretching Paul's patience and Lizak's budget. And mistakes with the bifold doors have forced expensive changes.
Sarah advised me that the steel in the bifolding door was too low. It definitely needed to be higher. That did lead to the engineer challenging me about what works had been agreed. Renovating is just crazy money. Right now, I'm spending money on stuff that I'm not even going to see. Currently, I have just over 13K of the budget remaining, but a huge amount to achieve, so it is scary.
I'm off to Street in Somerset, where a lot of determination is needed to take on this traditional house. Semi-detached properties here have recently sold for an average of £270,000. 25-year-old Alice is an accountant with big ambitions, and I'm keen to hear how she'll turn her ideas into a home that works.
When I was growing up, both my parents always stressed that you should save as much as you can. I've always worked 6 days a week. So Monday to Friday, I'm an accountant, and Saturdays I work waitressing. When I was 23, I bought a flat, but I've always knew deep down that I wanted a renovation. I used to look online for properties pretty much every day, and I did actually see this come up at 160 to 180. I booked a viewing, and this is when I fell in love with it straight away.
At 178,000 then, once, twice.
I was willing to pay up to 220.
Sure and done.
So I was really chuffed when I got it for 178. It is a huge project. Some may say it's quite scary for my first, but I do plan on living here for quite a while. It's not going to be a quick flip. I knew that I was going to need to get my hands stuck in and do as much as possible.
I'm curious to hear where Alice is planning to spend her budget.
What a house. What is it at 25 that drives you to buy something like this?
I've always looked at people doing renovations and thought it would be really fun.
OK, and how did this come about?
Just saving really hard, saving anything I can. I even started doing Uber.
Did you?
Delivery driving. All my hard work has paid off, and I've bought a house by myself.
Amazing. Did you have a survey done on it?
No, a lot of the problems were visible, so I thought I could spend thousands on a survey just for them to tell me things that I can already see I need to improve.
A big dilemma of buying at auction comes before you even bid. Survey or not to survey? A basic one starts from about £300, but a full structural survey costs thousands. And that's if you get one in time. So do you pay out with no promise of success, or skip it and gamble on what's hidden behind the walls?
So you bought it for 178,000?
Yes.
And how much have you got to turn it into a home?
So I only have £50,000, which doesn't sound a lot when you look at the amount of work that needs to be done.
£50,000 is quite optimistic. Who's doing the work?
I've done as much as I can, but my dad and stepdad will be helping me where they can, but I will be getting professionals in.
So you wanted a project. Did you know everything that was wrong with it?
They did disclose this gable wall, but when I started the demolition, I actually realised that it was worse.
OK, because you've got a big bow on this wall here.
Yeah.
Actually, it looks like it's going in and out, like a little...
Doesn't look amazing, does it?
No. It's not actually that complicated, fixing a bowing wall. Unless you decide to rebuild the wall without the bow, I'd almost be tempted to put the supports that you can see.
OK.
Because it's clear evidence that it's been done.
Yeah, totally agree.
You could do it yourself quite easily.
Oh, OK.
Alice's house and gable wall are constructed with locally sourced blue lyre stone. This blue-grey limestone gives Somerset villages and towns their distinctive colour. Naturally robust and durable, its layered composition means it can withstand harsh conditions, from windswept farmland to weathered, eroding coastal areas. But the stone must be handled carefully. Installed correctly, it can last centuries. Incorrectly, and distortions can compromise structural integrity, as Alice's wall shows.
Well, let's have a look around inside.
Yeah, of course.
Come on, then. What's the plan in here?
So I would like to have an open dining hall.
Does make sense. So you might as well take this wall down, then you've got this open plan space. I mean, that's quite doable. It's a messy job, though.
Yeah, oh, don't worry about that. I've got the mask and got my shower cup.
This should be the best room in the house. It does have views of the garden. So you want this to be the kind of highlight of the house.
Alice plans to knock the wall down so that the hallway and the dining room become one. I wonder if she could also have doors into the garden from the dining room and open the space up further so that it flows into the kitchen too.
You want to be able to feel that you're going out into the garden.
You're right, OK, yeah.
And I think that would be a really good use of money, having a set of French doors here.
Yeah, I think it would be definitely good for the light.
So that's down here. Let's go upstairs. There's been a lot of demolition going on. All of this has been ripped apart, bagged up and taken away.
Yeah.
Is that all you?
Yeah, mostly me. I have had the help of my dad and my stepdad and my mum.
Why did you strip all the plaster off everywhere? Was it really blown and shot?
Yeah, basically the bonding had let go and you would touch it and it would sort of like wobble.
So the plaster's off and out. And what are the plans up here?
So this particular room that we're in, I would like to add an ensuite, and then this side would be the main family bathroom. I don't like how the bathroom's at the front of the house. I would like to move the wall in between the primary bedroom and the bathroom to take some of the space from the primary bedroom and then make that into an office. So I'd still have 3 bedrooms, but rather than having 3 really big size rooms, I'd have 2 and then a single room.
I'm going to be really honest. That bathroom is too thin to be a single bedroom, so you would have to move the wall across, but there is a danger that you kind of end up with 2 singles. Around here, families would rather have 3 double bedrooms and 1 bathroom than 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, which is what it'll end up.
Alice doesn't want a bathroom at the front of the house and would like a walk-in shower with a freestanding bath. But this would mean she'd end up with 2 small bedrooms. If the bathroom stays where it is, she'd save money and keep 3 bigger bedrooms. So when it comes to sell the house, it would have a broader appeal.
It's quite a project you've taken on. I really admire you. I think it's great.
It's a big project.
It is a big project. I think you could do this in 4 months if you wanted to.
Wow.
It's important that Alice considers her layout carefully before she starts work, as 50 grand can disappear fast.
I think Alice is really to be admired. And she's worked incredibly hard and saved an enormous amount of money. I don't know if it's got an enormous amount of profit in it in the long term, but she really wants to do it, and I think she will.
I'm not 100% sure about Sarah's ideas for upstairs. However, I do really like the idea of having the open plan kitchen, dining room and hall.
Auctions can be a fast track to a strong return. With over 150 years' experience, Butters John B in Stoke-on-Trent have seen every kind of bidder walk through the door. Tonight, senior consultant Amit Nay and agency director Kerry Davis are here as bidders size up the lots with the best earning potential.
We've got 70 lots on offer, starting from £30,000, and we expect to sell about £7 million worth of property tonight.
96 in the room, asking 98,000 online. 98,000.
A lot of our seasoned investors, they are very much about the numbers, so they'll have a figure in mind they want it to go for.
100, sir. What a gentleman.
At auction, a clear head and a maximum bid price are essential. Savvy developer Lee Chimino keeps a close eye on what a property might yield.
Not my first rodeo. I've done this plenty of times before, and the main thing is don't get carried away at auction. I want the property at the right price. Keep your eye on the money, and you don't go far wrong.
Lee's worked out the rental income this property could bring in and has set his upper bid.
This is a 2-bedroom mid-terrace house. £42,000.
I'm going to bid it to 45.
The next bid's 44. Here in the room, thank you, sir. Here we go, 46. 50,000.
50,000.
54. 54 and a half. Current bid, £55,000. For the first time, then. The second time, then. Your bid, sir. Here in the room, then. You bought it, sir. Well done. £55,000.
Whoever's bought that is too much. At the most, there's 5,000 profit in that.
Lee's not convinced the numbers add up, but every buyer has their own version of a win.
Your property, well done.
And as long-time auctioneer Rob Alton knows, sometimes plans can be upended by a surprising lot.
What number 3's got the most interest in all the properties listed in the catalogue this evening? All legal and above board, but not very often we sell property with a body actually buried on the property. In 29 years, this is an absolute first for me.
But business partners Stuart and Peter aren't spooked. For them, it's about what value they can add to the property.
At the moment, it is a store and stable, but we're looking at redeveloping that into an apartment, like a 1-bedroom, possibly 2.
It's a guide price of 32.
So we're willing to go between 40 and 50 on it.
If it goes higher than 50, I don't know how anybody's going to make any money out of it.
This is the stable and store.
A lot of people want land to develop on and everything else.
Got the unique status of having a burial site of a family member interred on this plot.
I'll be shocked if this doesn't sell tonight.
Feeling a bit sick.
The guide is £32,000. Who's going to come straight in? Who's got 32,000 on this one? For 32. 32 is here in the room. Asking 34,000 online. 34,000 online. Can we go 36, sir? We can. Asking 38,000 online.
So we've got an online bidder at the moment.
38,000 online. 42 online. 44. 44,000. Asking 46,000 now. For the first time, then. The second time, then. Are you all done? Here in the room, then, at £44,000. Your property, sir. Well done.
That was faster than I thought it was going to be.
So we move on.
Peter and Stuart pay their deposit today and, following established auction practice, have 28 days to pay the rest of the purchase price.
Very happy with the price. We thought it would go a lot higher, to be honest, but I think the body in the garden may have put people off.
Peter and Stuart followed the first lessons of auctions. Make sure you do your research, set your ceiling price, and don't overbid. They got the property for £6,000 less than their ceiling. A good result. Next up is Lizak's dream renovation on track.
I don't know what trickery I'm going to have to pull out.
And in Cornwall, a fire-damaged mansion with a gutted owner.
I was meant to retire. It's a bit of a dilemma.
It's 9 weeks since Lizak began on his ambitious plans for this turn-of-the-century end of terrace in Herne Bay. He wants the kitchen and bathroom to be finished before moving in.
So, finished first fix electrics and pretty close to finishing first fix plumbing as well, actually. Right now, the kind of main pull of everybody's energies at the moment is the bathrooms. Stud wall has come down. and another one's gone up. So I've created a large master bathroom and an ensuite shower room. I got a lot of the furniture before I had developed the space. I felt like it was bigger. So now, having the dimensions set in stone, fitting all of the furniture into that space has taken a few changes.
Without much of a detailed plan, Lizak's bathroom layout is a work in progress, and carpenter Rick's doing his best to build in the storage we discussed.
So it's going to be quite a narrow, it's going to be that width.
Okay, that is quite narrow. Did you see a couple? Like, that gives me an idea of what kind of...
Yeah.
Lizak's discovering just how many decisions go into making a bathroom work, and plumber Mark isn't shy about sharing his thoughts.
I think Lee, this is his first major project. Had a few alterations along the way.
But then too big for downstairs in the WC.
I think so.
Yeah.
When you get off the toilet, you're going to be straight onto the face of the base. So I think that might have to be a change of plan there.
Change of plan on the sink.
There's lots of questions he gets asked about things that he's probably not thought of so far in front.
So if I've got a sink similar to the one that I've got for the master bathroom...
Yeah, you know what I mean?
With questions raised faster than he can answer them, it's clear this project's testing Lizak's planning skills.
I am so thankful for the works people I have on site, for being patient with me. We're now getting to a creative point rather than just this destruction building exercise that has been dirty and grimy. You know, expensive. So budget-wise, I've got less than 10K, more than 5, which I think is just about enough to get me in. I want to have some holes in the wall so I can show people my electrics. Be like, I spent £10,000 on the electrics. I don't know what trickery I'm going to have to pull out.
Lizak sent over an update.
Let's see how he's got on. He has made progress, but it's still effectively a shell.
Your idea to raise that steel just makes this 5-folding door really quite dramatic. So I'm excited about that.
That opening at the back, that should really throw light in.
I have kept my dining table in this area. This whole end of the kitchen is going to be the cooking end.
I still think Lizak would be better off dividing the room in half so that the darker end has kitchen units and the lighter end either has a table or sofas, whichever he prefers.
Let's go upstairs.
So this was the story all about bathrooms.
As you can see, walls have gone down and gone up. The shower is going to go here, the toilet will go there, and the bath will go along here. So the first bit of advice I've taken from you, we are building cabinetry shelving that will be tiled.
He now just needs to decorate it, so it's really cool.
Thank you so much for all of your input. I hope I've done you proud.
It is compromised, but it's his house.
Down in Somerset, Alice is about to make a real breakthrough.
So today I've got a big day of knocking down the dining room wall. So then I have an open kitchen, dining and hall. So this part of the wall is going to be gone and this will be completely removed. And then in the dining room here, we'll just open it up to be a really light and open space.
With an RSJ in place for support above, Alice is ready to go, and she's roped in her dad Paul for some extra muscle.
It's coming down much easier than I thought it would. Wow, it's so much lighter already. It looks really good, don't you think?
It really opened it up.
I like it.
Yeah.
Just look at the light.
With that wall gone, Alice's ground floor is beginning to take shape. And with the dust settled, she sent me an update.
There's so much going on at the house at the moment. This is how the dining room is looking, and then upstairs, there's so much work going on.
Oh, Very often, if you buy a house in auction, it needs a lot of work. And the bizarre thing is that you have to do that work, which means you have to demolish a lot of stuff, and it makes the house worth even less than you bought it for. But you have to go through that pain barrier. I think Alice is right in the middle of it.
Buying a property at auction takes imagination to see past first impressions and imagine the home it could become. For some, that dream can stall even before it starts. In Lostwithiel, Cornwall, this Grade 2 listed Victorian mansion, known as the Castle, was devastated by fire in 2019. Barbara Rounsfell and her husband, who successfully run a group of care homes, invested their hard-earned savings into buying the building as their dream home. But with 12,500 square feet of ruin and no clear way forward, it's turning into a nightmare.
So tell me, you bought this?
Yes, never expected to. From the minute I walked up here, there's a feeling about it. Fell in love with it.
I hate to state the obvious, but there's been a fire there, hasn't there?
6 years ago.
OK, and it stood there empty and derelict since?
Empty for 6 years. I was hoping to get it as cheap as possible. I'll be
So
really
like
honest.
50 quid. Its guide was £1 million.
You know, I thought I can just manage 600, and I went to the online auction and it went 850.
But the winning bidder pulled out, and when the auction house contacted Barbara, she suddenly had a second chance.
And in the end, we agreed for 500, and I bought it and had the keys within 10 days. Didn't do any searches. By then, I was, quite besotted.
I mean, nobody would take this on if they wanted something that's predictable and reliable.
No. It was an adventure. David, my husband, he was up for it.
And what's your budget?
Well, probably 2.5 million. Gonna probably struggle. I have to keep working. I was meant to retire.
And what's the plan with this, then?
The plan was that it would be an amazing home, but now we need a legacy for Cornwall. Maybe a dementia village, because we've got 14 acres as well.
Once you'd bought it for £500,000, I mean, it's a lot to lots of people, but for you, it's a lot, but it was affordable. Yeah. You thought you would just be able to move in and refurbish it. And what's happened in the last 2 years to scupper that?
Oh, golly. We can't even get to some of the last surveys that we need done to go for the official planning permission. Because of the state of the house, it's deemed as not safe.
Barbara is caught in a catch-22. She can't start work on the building because it's unsafe, and she can't make it safe without starting work. Because the building is listed, it can't be demolished, and there are also extra hoops to jump through with the local authority. She desperately needs to cut through the red tape to move forwards.
It's a bit of a dilemma.
Oh, I'd love to have a look.
Come on, then. Come on.
I'm frustrated for Barbara. Bureaucracy is making this restoration nearly impossible.
It's really fabulous, isn't it?
Stepping inside, it's obvious how the delays have taken their toll on a house exposed to the elements.
Yeah, you can see the dry rot here, can't you?
Seeing it up close, it's easy to understand just how many challenges Barbara's facing here.
There's some sort of dry rot and whatnot there.
This will send out tentacles, little spider's webs. It'll run up anywhere it can until it finds some timber that's nice and damp to suck the moisture out. That's fine, unless it's a piece of timber that's structural, in which case collapses.
So if you come in here, just stay on where it's hard. And this goes.
The panelling is mostly hardwood and is still stable several years after the fire. But where dry rot's taken hold in the damp softwood, the structure's been weakened, causing parts of the ceiling to collapse.
Absolutely love this.
Shame, isn't it?
This is a lovely part.
Oh, it's so light up here. I mean, it helps not having a roof, doesn't it? But what an amazing load of roof structures you've got.
And you can see the bell tower there, which I'm so glad survived.
And its own bell tower. Get that. I mean, it's utterly magnificent, I'm going to be honest. I'm not surprised you bought it. I do think you're kind of mad, but I can see how you could fall in love with it. It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and I think I am probably mad, but I am in love with it. So
But fate favours the bold and the brave.
let's hope so.
And you have got £2.5 million to spend on it. My advice to you would be to break this down into sections. So internal scaffolding to make sure that all of it is structurally sound and dry and warm, so you can get into all the parts of it.
Yeah.
You can then get the roofs on. And then I would probably work on one part of it and turn that into a flat that you can move into, so that you're living here on site. Might as well have fun while you're doing it. Yeah.
So we really need all of the planning people and everything to sort of be united again to help us achieve this, really. I just think a dementia village for Cornwall would be amazing.
It would.
And I always like to give back, and maybe that's the legacy that we leave.
Okay, so one way or another, you're going to get this restored?
Yes.
Excellent. Lucky building.
With all these setbacks and red tape, it could be months before Barbara can even start the restoration work. But I'm convinced she'll do everything she can to save this noble property. A 100 miles up the road in Somerset, another roof is proving problematic.
Hiya.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
What happened? The roof's off. And it looks like the flank wall's down as well.
So I could see that the top of the gable was coming in and the bottom was pushing out.
We could see the gable wall was bowed and would need support, but only after removing the ceilings did Alice discover just how unstable it was and decide to rebuild it entirely.
Gosh. And that's possibly why it was selling in auction?
100%, so it was a risk I took.
And while you were taking it down, you thought, well, might as well take the roof off at the same time?
Yeah, so I took off the tiles. I could see that the wood actually had woodworm. So when I decided to get new trusses, I thought it's a no-brainer to just make a bedroom up there. So it'll be a full bed.
So how much is the roof costing?
About £8,000.
I mean, it all sounds so easy, doesn't it? First of all, there was a bit of a bow in the wall, so I took the wall down. Then the roof was a bit dodgy, so I took the roof off. But this must have had a massive effect on your budget.
Definitely.
You had £50,000 to do all of this.
Yeah, and I have borrowed a lot of machinery from family friends. My dad is very kindly giving me a hand, so I'm very lucky in that sense.
OK, so you've pulled in every favour in the whole universe.
Yeah.
And now your £50,000 budget for building work is going to get you what's structurally sound, effectively.
Yes, and have one bathroom, bedroom, the kitchen and the living room.
And then how will you finish it?
The plan is once it's habitable to remortgage, pull out probably another 50,000 and then I can go again and finish the house.
Once Alice has fitted a kitchen and bathroom to make her property habitable, she'll be able to release more funds by remortgaging and continue her renovation.
If you knew what you knew now, would you have bought this in auction?
I don't think I would have, no. And if I went into the auction knowing that it was probably going to cost me 100 grand, probably would have swayed away from it.
So let's have a look upstairs then.
Yeah, please.
What was meant to be a quick makeover is now a total rebuild, pushing Alice's schedule back by 6 weeks at double the cost.
OK, so all of that wall's down.
The only thing standing is basically the rear extension and the front of the house.
It's a lot more work than a refurbishment, isn't this?
100%. I did not plan to do as much as I have.
No.
Exactly, yeah.
Like pulling a thread on a jumper. When I spoke to you last time, you were going to have 2 bathrooms in here. Are you still doing that?
Yep, that's the plan.
Okay, and to be honest, you've pretty much demolished the whole house, so you might as well do whatever you want. Very lucky. You've got a good builder.
Yeah, I know.
When people buy an auction, they generally don't have a survey, because if they don't buy it, then that's a waste of money.
Whoa!
But that is the risk you're taking, and sometimes it comes and bites you.
Oh, my.
Coming up, can Alice's rebuild reach the finish line? And has dreamer Lizak's design ambition held together or fallen apart?
I've got to move in. Time is ticking. Time is money.
In Herne Bay, Kent, the trades have taken over at Lizak's.
Put it there, put it... Oh, I'm all right.
I've got to move in. Time is ticking. Time is money. You know, I've got a door in my garden.
He's having to stretch the budget, though. even putting the kitchen on a credit card to make it work.
I've got dynasty taste with an Albert Square budget.
Trying to make his home habitable.
I do think that I will be moving in at the end of this month. What I'll be moving into, of course, remains to be seen.
Upstairs, his bathroom seems to be coming together.
Once the floor is down, then we're going to get onto the real exciting element of this room, which is the walls. It's old school, it's classic, but it's bombastic.
I'm so pleased there's progress. But can he really do it without blowing up his budget altogether?
It's going to look amazing.
Nice.
In Street in Somerset, Alice is celebrating.
Cheers to a watertight house at long last.
It's not exactly where she thought she'd be, but with her grit, relentlessly positive attitude and family behind her, she's pushed through with a much bigger project than she'd ever imagined. Buying a house without a survey was a gamble, but Alice has tackled emerging problems head-on. Rebuilding an entire gable wall has stabilised the property, and the new roof ensures the place is now watertight and secure, but it's come at a cost.
I was slightly worried. What have I done? But now it's a huge relief that it's structurally sound, and I'm looking up and, you know, I've got a lovely straight house.
Downstairs was a collection of small dark rooms. Now Alice has knocked down walls to create a spacious, open-plan kitchen dining room.
Sarah's advice was to open up this space, which I think is a really good shout because it makes it flow a lot better. It's allowed so much more light to pour in.
It'll be even brighter if Alice does decide to put those garden doors in. Upstairs, Alice had big plans, and with all the walls down, she can shape her layout the way she wants. An upside of the structural work is that a new loft space has created a whopping 22 square metres, more than enough space to create an additional fourth bedroom.
When the new gable wall was rebuilt, it was the perfect opportunity to get new attic roof trusses put in. And now, obviously, I have a lovely, spacious bedroom up here. I've had 2 new skylights, and you can just about see Glastonbury Toll, which is lovely.
Similar 3-bed homes in this area without a loft conversion are valued at around £270,000. With these improvements, Alice's home could be worth over £300,000. So if she borrows more to complete the renovation, she should see that money back if she sells. I've no doubt Alice will finish this house with real style, but with half an eye on potential profit, she needs to be relentless on costs.
I've currently spent about £38,000. My goal is to get it habitable, then I can remortgage, and then I can finish the rest of the house. I do think it will be worth it because I'm going to have a lovely house at the end, but it has been a lot of stress.
So now your house is structurally sound, does that mean to say that I can start enjoying retirement again?
Oh, no, no, no.
When I met Lizak 4 months ago in Herne Bay, he'd already started work on his dream of a bright, open home.
My original vision was to be able to walk in the front door and literally see to the back.
Well, you've done that.
I've achieved that, right?
Yeah. But with only £25,000 to turn his dream into reality, every mistake put his shoestring budget under pressure.
Renovating is just crazy money.
But one thing that's never taken a hit is Lizak's ambition to create a stunning home. And it's mission accomplished. This looks spectacular. He's got his run of kitchen units, with whining and dining at one end, not quite where I'd imagined it, but he's stuck to his guns. And a chill-out space, still perfectly placed to drink in those garden views, once he's had a chance to do the landscaping.
The kitchen is sensational. Sarah's advice of raising the steel to have really impressive bifold doors, the impact is incredible. I love it, you know. It was about having the confidence that when everything is in the space, it would work. Feel like I've hit the brief on this one. A celebration of lights.
Upstairs, Lizak wanted to go big and transform his standard bathroom into a bold statement of design. Well, he's certainly done that. The freestanding bath grabs all the attention, quickly followed by bespoke brass fixtures and fittings. But look a little closer and the textured tiles and choice of thrones subtly celebrate the home's Victorian period.
My bathroom is picture book perfect. Sarah was like, you need somewhere to put stuff when you're in the bath. So she suggested that the redundant door that I was going to close up, make that into a niche, which is precisely what I've done. A really good idea.
And a few more shelves in the alcove would be even more useful.
Sarah also suggested that I put black on the ceiling. And wow. Budget-wise, I did overspend, but I genuinely feel that I have added value with the work that I've done in here. I can't wait to live in it for a long, long time.
Incredible as Lizak's progress is, he still has work to do. So how much has it cost him so far?
So I started with 25. I now have minus something. Everything is spent, let's put it like that. Plus, I borrowed £20,000. But the first phase is completed. You need to have a strong vision. I didn't think I was going to have anything, but look. Oh, it's just the beginning.
Next time, from a cottage in North Wales to a mansion on the Cornish coast.
That is sensational.
The clock is ticking for two couples desperate to move in.
The biggest thing for me is getting quickly.
And we're with one auction house for their biggest sale ever.
Sold at £160,000.